dan sebagainya, sukar. Tapi bagaimanapun, saya malam ini 25 Februari, kita tinggal lagi 16 hari menuju Ramadan. Ya, insya-Allah kita akan melihat sinar fajar Ramadan 16 hari lagi yang penuh barakah. Tapi jangan lupa saudara, hari ini adalah hari 1432 COVID yang menyerang negara kita dan masih ada laporan ada yang sakit, dan jadi pastikan anda menjaga kesihatan anda. Saudara, untuk lebih-lebih awal terus teranglah saudara, masuk Gear 3, Gear 4 dan saudara Wan M. Bakri, saudara Abdullah Majid, saudara Abiki, saudara Abdul Yusuf Ishak. Terima kasih dari Bandar Baru Kedah. Saudara Mazlan, saudara Hisham Masih, Jafridin dari Teluk Intan Perak. Teman-teman Saleh Lembang yang tak sempat saya santuni, saya mohon maaf saudara. Begitu juga dengan saudara Muhammad Mazaman dari Bintulu, Sarawak, saudara Bashar Bail, saudara Adi Putra, saudara Mak Nur Qazai, Azli Kasim, Osman Kamil, Mak Rafi'i Ahmad dari Alam Impian. Ya, saudara yang mana tak sempat saya santuni, saya mohon maaf. Sebab hari ini, sebagaimana yang tuan-tuan tahu, saya mungkin kita akan berbicara sedikit, minta maaf sebab terpaksa bercakap dalam bahasa Inggeris. Kerana tetamu saya malam ini adalah tuan yang terutama, saudara Walid Abdul Ali, iaitu Duta Besar Palestin ke negara Malaysia, Brunei dan Singapura. Assalamualaikum, Your Excellency.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum everybody. Salam Madani.
Salam Madani, Your Excellency. Yeah.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share our views for all Malaysian brothers and sisters and all viewers around the world.
Okay, thank you. Dan bersama-sama juga saya adalah pengarah diplomatik kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Presiden UMNO, Saudara Datuk Jailani. Apa khabar, Dok?
Alhamdulillah.
Jadi nampak gaya kita bercakap bahasa putih ni, Dok, ya?
Terpaksa.
Ya, teman-teman, saya mohon maaf. Bukan saya tidak mencintai bahasa kita. Tetapi kita harus menghormati tetamu kita, tuan yang terutama, Saudara Walid Abu Ali. Ya, Excellency, saya nak mulakan atau Saudara Jai nak mulakan? Saudara Jai, silakan. Ya, Excellency, Datuk Jailani would like to first start the question, please.
Please.
How are you, sir?
Alhamdulillah. I completed 5 years in Malaysia. This is my 6th year. I have my family with me. I feel home while I'm in Malaysia. I never felt I'm a stranger or a foreigner. I'm welcomed anywhere in Malaysia. Just last week I was in Terengganu. My last visit outside Kuala Lumpur. I visited almost all states in Malaysia. Wherever I go, I share with brothers and sisters, Malaysians, our views as Palestinians. And my job is so easy. I don't need to promote the Palestinian cause to Malaysians because the Palestinian cause is in the heart of all Malaysians. That's why my life is so easy and my job is so easy here in Malaysia.
مرحبا السيد السفير نحن سعداء لوجودكم معنا هذه الليلة.
الحمد لله الحمد لله وأنا سعيد كذلك.
الحمد لله. I just want to start with a major question.
Please.
You know? The Israeli force, the army, first they attacked on the northern part of Gaza, and then they moved to Beit al-Falah, then Khan Yunis, and now to Rafah. Rafah is a very small area. It covers an area of about 63
square kilometers.
Where would the Palestinians go after this to seek shelter?
Let me start right and start clear. Our struggle never started on the 7th of October. So many people are confused that they believe that the Palestinian-Israeli fight started on the 7th of October. Our Palestinian people have been struggling since 1948, since the first Nakba. We exercised the first Nakba when almost 600,000 Palestinians were forced to leave Palestine. The Israelis continued their violation of the international law. They never stopped for 7.5 decades. When the Israelis decided to invade Gaza Strip, Gaza is a very small geography and the highest populated area on earth.
It's beautiful.
Gaza is 365 square kilometers. When they invaded north of Gaza, exactly towards the borders with the Israeli settlements, and they started striking, destroying, damaging, targeting all Palestinians, regardless whether they are women, children, innocent Palestinians, elderly Palestinians, and they forced almost 1.3 million Palestinians to evacuate from the north of Gaza to south of Gaza, believing that south of Gaza will be safe. But unfortunately, they had continued striking innocent Palestinians in their way from north of Gaza to south of Gaza, and even for those who reached Rafah, who reached Khan Yunis, who reached Deir al-Balah on the south, they were not safe. Almost 75% of the population of Gaza became homeless. They could not find a shelter. When the Israelis decide to strike hospitals, to strike mosques, to strike schools, even the UNRWA schools were targeted and struck by the Israelis while these schools were under the flag of the United Nations. So no single square meter was safe in the whole of Gaza. And this Israeli state terrorism against our innocent Palestinians, witnessed by the international community, witnessed by the neighboring countries, witnessed by Arab and Muslim countries all around the globe. And even just while I'm coming to the studio, the Israelis were striking Khan Yunis, Deir al-Balah, and Rafah, and around the Rafah area. They did not invade Rafah yet, but they are striking from air, and they are targeting Palestinians in Rafah, in Khan Yunis, even back in Gaza city, back in the north of Gaza. So the international community failed to convince and to force Benjamin Netanyahu and his government, who are the most extremist, the most terrorists, who are practicing on daily basis a genocide and a massacre against our innocent Palestinians.
Ya. Secara dari penjelasan Tuan Yang Utama Duta ini, bahawa sekarang ini sebenar-benarnya mereka masih belum dapat menguasai Gaza sepenuhnya. Apa yang dilakukan adalah mereka menyerang, membunuh dan membunuh. Apa yang berlaku sekarang ini, kekejaman yang dilakukan oleh rejim Zionis pimpinan Benjamin Netanyahu masih berterusan. Your Excellency, can I ask you a question?
Please.
How long is the struggle of these Palestinians against the terrorisms of Israel towards the Palestinian?
Let me just make it clear.
Yeah.
Israel was found on 1948.
1940, saudara? Ya.
And at that time, with the British Balfour Promise, Israel was created. Even so, Jews were living in Palestine as a minority, and they enjoyed peace.
Yeah.
They enjoyed their rights to live in peace without any problem. Because we as Palestinians, within our nation, we accommodate Christians and we accommodate Jews, and they are free to enjoy and exercise their freedom without any
Since
problem.
1940,
1948.
1948, saudara, bahawa sebenarnya Yahudi memang ada di bumi Palestin menurut penjelasan daripada Tuan Utama. Tetapi mereka hidup dengan aman, tenteram. They live in peace sebab warga Palestin begitu baik orangnya dan menerima keadaan mereka. Tapi di bawah perjanjian Balfour 1948, 1948.
When Israel was created, when Israel was created
Yeah.
in 1948, they consider 15th of May of each year is their anniversary of their independency,
Yeah.
which is our catastrophe, our Nakba.
Yeah.
So they celebrate their independency, and it's the anniversary of our Nakba. So our Palestinian people have been suffering since 1948 when Israel was created. Our struggle is not with the Jews.
Yeah.
Our struggle is with Israel, with Zionism.
Zionists, yeah.
Zionists, where Israel is represented. Israel was created with a political agenda for Zionism. And if you go back before 1948, in many Arab countries, Jews were living in peace. But when Israel was created and they started to encourage Jews from around the world, from Europe, from Latin America, from Russia, from all around the globe, to come to Israel and settle instead of Palestinians, because they forced those Palestinians to leave their homeland and they went as refugees in the neighboring countries.
Ya, saudara, begitulah keadaannya ketelaman. Jadi artinya bahawa apa yang berlaku di Israel itu sebenarnya ia bukanlah sebuah negara asalnya. Tidak ada negara. There is no state of Israel in that matter of time. Tapi mereka dibawa dari luar dan sebenarnya sebelum itu ada, Yahudi memang ada. The Jews is around. Tapi dilayan dengan begitu baik dan saksama. You know, the Jews were well treated, Your Excellency.
Yes.
During that particular time.
Yeah, they were enjoying their freedom.
They were enjoying their freedom. Artinya mereka hidup dengan ketenteraman.
If you go and talk to those Jews who were living in Palestine before the creation of Israel, those Jews who were living in Egypt or in Morocco or in Iraq or in Yemen, you know, those Jews before, you know, shifting from those Arab countries to Israel, they were living in peace and they were enjoying peace all around the Arab countries.
Jadi artinya Yahudi ini saudara ada di negara-negara Arab sebenarnya, dan bukan hanya terletak pada di Palestin, tapi tumpuan. They are more concentrate on Palestine, where they start to develop the state of Israel.
That's when the British gave them the promise of a home and they created Israel.
British yang memberi perjanjian melalui perjanjian Balfour,
Yes.
Excellency.
Yes.
So itulah keadaannya sekarang. Sampai daripada 1948 sampai sekarang berterusan. Mereka, sedangkan warga Palestin, the Palestinian people are very well welcome them, nak tanah bagi tanah, nak rumah bagi rumah. Akhirnya mereka sudah pun mahu menjajah. They want to invade and totally take over the whole of Palestinian.
So our catastrophe, the cause who is responsible of the Palestinian suffering was the British. They created Israel. They gave the promise to Israel because there were so many offers. They offered the Jews, you know, a state in Uganda. They offered the Jews a state in Argentina. Europe in general want to get rid of the Jews, you know, at that time. And unfortunately, the British decided to give them Palestine.
Itulah puncanya saudara sebenarnya selepas Perang Dunia 1948 apabila British meletakkan di bawah perjanjian.
That's why we insist now for the UK. Britain has to compensate Palestinians because they are responsible of our suffering.
Saudara, tuntutan daripada warga Palestin sebenarnya bukan untuk menghalau mereka, tetapi membayar sebuah hati dan sebagainya, membina semula negara Palestin. Palestine was such a beautiful country when I was those days, Your Excellency.
We are the heart of the Middle East.
The heart of Middle East.
We are located in the Mediterranean Sea.
Pantai yang indah.
We're located on the Red Sea.
Yes.
And we are in neighboring countries, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Egypt. We are the hub. You know, for many Arab and Middle Eastern countries.
Yes. So katanya Palestin ini satu bumi yang terlalu indah, saudara, dan merupakan jantung kepada bumi Arab sebab dia dihadapan dengan laut Mediterranean yang terlalu
The most educated people at that time was Palestine.
Warga yang lebih educated ni, lebih terpelajar, terpimpin, adalah datang daripada
And
Palestin.
we were
Yeah.
very much helpful, and we were involved in the infrastructure of many Arab countries because Palestinians were very well educated. And when they were first to leave Palestine abroad, they chose to go to the GCC countries, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and we helped our brothers in those countries, you know, on their infrastructures. Yasser Arafat himself was a civilian engineer in Kuwait when he started our revolution in 1965.
Ya.
So he was employed in Kuwait as a civil engineer.
Jadi masalah yang berlaku di Palestin sebenarnya, saudara, sebab negara itu sebenarnya cantik dan membangun dengan infrastruktur yang termoden masa itu, dan lebih mendahului dengan bumi Arab yang lain. Your Excellency, that means you're ahead than others Arab countries.
Yes, and Palestine at that time was a destination for tourism, a destination. We were very much. The first airport in the Middle East was in Palestine.
Lapangan terbang pertama saya yang ada di Timur Tengah, itu di Middle East, adalah di Palestine.
Yes.
Where is the place, Your Excellency?
The Ben Gurion Airport now, which
Bongorian
is
Airport.
the airport for Israel,
Yeah.
it was a Palestinian airport. Matarul Lid, it used to be called.
Yeah. Your Excellency, I understand that the Palestinians don't have the army. Is it true?
An official army, no, because we are under occupation. How can we have an army?
Sebenarnya apa yang berlaku, yang malangnya bagi warga Palestin, mereka tidak mempunyai tentera. Sebab mengikut kata apa ini tuan yang utama bahawa negara mereka...
But we are,
tapi
we have freedom fighters.
you are the freedom fighters, Your Excellency.
I am personally, I was in the Israeli custody.
Yeah.
I was arrested by the Israelis.
Alright, Your Excellency.
Similar to thousands of Palestinians who've been in the Israeli custody because we are fighting our freedom.
Ya, saudara, itu sedikit sejarahnya untuk kita mengetahui sejarah sebenarnya, the struggle of Palestinian. Sebab itu saya mengatakan air mata di bumi Anbiya. Sebab Palestin itu terletaknya Masjid Baitul Muqaddis, Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Back to my question. Rafah is the last frontier for the Palestinians to go to seek refuge. Where would they go after this?
Ya.
There is no way to go. We'd rather, our nation is convinced Palestine is for Palestinians, no other country. Egypt for Egyptians, Jordan for Jordanians.
Ya.
Palestine is ours. We'd rather die in our own territories rather than becoming a second refugee in a neighboring country.
Ya, mereka sebenarnya, saudara, memilih lebih baik mati di bumi sendiri. Tetapi persoalan Datuk Jailani, the first time when I was every night, I'm giving some report on what happened in Gaza. First time they said from northern Gaza, the Zionists, the Israel pushed all the Gazians, the Gaza people to
Rafah.
To Rafah, to southern.
Yes.
So now, they mean northern Gaza is totally demolished. Correct.
There is a lot of false media
Okay.
going on at the moment.
Okay. Laporan palsu.
Let me just make it clear.
Please.
For those who do not know, 75% of the population of the 2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza
Yeah.
are refugees.
Okay. Pelarian, saudara. Ya.
That's very important point.
Okay.
75% of the 2.3 million Palestinians. You know, the population of Gaza is 2.3 million.
Okay.
75% of those are refugees. They are originally not from Gaza. They were originally from Asqalan, they are from Ramla, they are from Lid, they are from Jaffa, they are from historical Palestine.
In Gaza itself, yeah?
They were forced to leave their homeland in Palestine, historical Palestine, and they ended up in Gaza. So while they are in Gaza since 1948, they were refugees. Now, when the Israeli forced them to evacuate from north of Gaza to south of Gaza, this is the last destination. There's no way to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Either they go back to north of Gaza or they die in Rafah rather than going outside. Of course, there's a lot of propaganda that they will go to Egypt, they will go to Sinai. This is all a Israeli propaganda.
Ya, ya, secara dia mengikut propaganda Israel. Sebenar-benarnya asal yang tinggal di Gaza itu adalah refugee, ya Excellency.
Yes.
Dia ada refugee. Asal daripada 27 juta itu asalnya adalah pelarian daripada banyak negara. Tetapi warga Palestin sendiri, how many? The real Palestinians.
Three generations
Yeah.
in Gaza.
Ya,
Their grandfathers and grandmothers were refugees.
ya, ya, ya.
And they born in Gaza
Mhm.
as refugees. And they continue to be refugees in Gaza up until this minute.
Ya.
Now, if they force them to go to Sinai, they will become,
Another refugee.
Another refugee. That's what we don't want.
Ya, ya, ya.
And nobody will accept.
No, my question is, Your Excellency, the original Palestinians in Gaza, how many?
It's 25% of the population of Gaza.
25% saja daripada penduduk di Gaza itu adalah original daripada
They
Palestin
are
rakyat.
Gazawi citizens.
Ya, 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 ya.
And 75% of the population of Gaza are refugees.
Your Excellency, we are coming to Ramadan, to the Muslim in Malaysia. Warga di Malaysia ni, saudara, kita sentiasa mengingatkan bila bercakap tentang Palestin ini adalah Masjid Al-Aqsa. Our concern is more on the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's where the beginning of our holy prophets to see God, you know. So from Holy Mecca to Al-Aqsa. So what happened to the...
Can I share with the viewers?
Yeah, please.
Please.
Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, Qibla Awwal.
Yeah,
The first Qibla.
Mhm.
The first Qibla
Yeah.
is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Mhm.
There is no Palestine
Mhm.
without Jerusalem, without Al-Quds as the capital.
Okay.
And there is no Jerusalem without Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Okay.
Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is the hub,
Okay.
not just for Palestinians,
Mhm.
for all Arabs and Muslim nations.
Okay.
So, whatever the Israelis are doing to change the geography and the demography of the old city of Al-Quds, of Jerusalem,
Yeah.
because they believe with the declaration of Donald Trump when he recognized Jerusalem
Yeah.
as the capital of Israel, that they succeeded.
Okay.
But it is a promise of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Inshallah. Yeah.
that Al-Quds is our capital. Israelis will never live in peace, will never enjoy peace without recognizing the Palestinian state, an independent Palestinian state with Al-Quds as its capital.
Yeah.
Without that, the Israelis will continue to suffer as much as Palestinians are suffering.
Dalam keadaan sekarang ni, sebab tu bandanya sebenarnya peperangan ini akan berterusan kerana mereka mau menawan Masjid Al-Aqsa dan tidak mungkin berjaya sebab Masjid Al-Aqsa ini adalah di tengah-tengah keseluruhan bumi Arab itu sendiri, the center of the Arabs.
As you said, and the Muslims, not the Arabs, all the Muslim Ummah.
Dia bukan hanya orang Arab, saya adalah Muslim satu dunia. Tidak mungkin rejim Zionis boleh menguasai. Ini persoalannya sebenarnya. Sedangkan kerana Donald Trump membuat perisytiharan bahawa di tempat tapak Masjid Al-Aqsa itu adalah Jerusalem. Itulah konon nak dijadikan the city of Israel. Is that Your Excellency correct?
We are close to the holy month of Ramadan.
Yes, we are close to Ramadan. Yeah.
All Muslims must always remember
Yeah.
the Hadith Sharif. لا تشد الرحال إلا إلى 3 مساجد. المسجد الحرام
Yeah.
ومسجدي هذا والمسجد الأقصى.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Repeatedly, I always said in many interviews and whenever I meet with my brothers and sisters in Malaysia, you go for Hajj and you go for Umrah.
Yeah.
Your Hajj and Umrah is incomplete without visiting Al-Quds,
Yeah.
without visiting Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. This is the 3 mosques that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had insisted. So Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, when it was the first Qibla,
The
it's
first-
for all
the first
Muslims.
Qibla. The
Yes,
first Qibla.
before
Yeah.
Mecca.
Yeah.
Before Masjid Al-Haram.
Yeah.
So this is what all Muslims needs to remember, that Al-Quds and Al-Aqsa Mosque is ours. It will never be an Israeli and it will never be accepted as an Israeli capital.
Setara keadaan di sana sebenarnya yang kekejaman yang dilakukan itu terhadap pelarian. Dia bukan warga Palestin sebenarnya. Ini kenyataan daripada Tuan Yang Pertama, His Excellency, confirmed oleh 20% of the real Palestinian that live in Gaza. But they are more concerned is the
75% refugees.
Refugee. 75% adalah pelarian yang datang daripada Sudan, daripada Algeria, dari rata-rata semua tu. Dan hari ini Zionis mahu mengusir mereka. So dia nak pergi ke mana? Kalau nak pergi ke selatan Gaza, Southern Gaza, ya Sensi?
Yes.
So ke mana lagi nak pergi? Ini masalah ya.
Last week,
Ya, minggu lalu ya.
I was asked by a local Malaysian TV.
Okey.
They are hosting a food festival during the holy month of Ramadan
Ya.
to show all other Muslims, all other Muslim countries, what do they do during Ramadan.
Ya.
So they approached me, they want to to practice Palestinian cuisine, Palestinian food
Yeah.
during the holy month of Ramadan.
Yeah.
To show Malaysians how we fast, how we break fasting, what we do during the month of Ramadan.
Ya.
And I told them, is it fair for me to show up in a Malaysian TV, enjoying
Di Palestinian food.
and celebrating
Ya, Ramadan.
the holy month of Ramadan with the Palestinian food,
Ya.
while 2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza are suffering, has nothing to eat?
Astaghfirullah. Ya, saudara.
It doesn't look nice.
Ya. Saudara, ada orang minta supaya diadakan fiesta makanan Palestin di sini. Kata Tuan Yang Utama, it's impossible that dia boleh laksanakan sebab 75% tak ada makanan nak makan di bumi Gaza.
At the moment,
Yeah.
people have no drinking water.
Tak ada air.
At
Yeah.
the moment, people have absolutely nothing to eat.
Tak ada satu benda pun yang boleh dimakan. Saudara.
power
Itu
supply
keadaannya.
also.
Ya, Excellency, Muhammad Rajab Badaruddin was asking. He said 75% of these Gaza, live in Gaza is 75% is a refugee.
Correct.
So do they have the citizenships at that matter of time?
Of course, they're all Palestinians, but they are not in their homeland because they are refugees, came out of what's called Israel now. Originally, when we are struggling for the right of return,
Yeah.
what do we mean by the right of return? If any Jew around the globe is eligible to go and live in Israel, why Palestinians are not eligible to go back to their homeland? Like those 75% of refugees in Gaza, why they are not eligible to go back and live where they came from, Jaffa, from Haifa, from Asqalan, from Lid, from Ramla?
Yeah.
You know, they have been struggling for 7.5 decades for the right of return.
Yeah.
I'll explain more. Our Palestinians are 4 categories.
Yes.
Category number 1, 1.5 million Palestinians who remained in historical Palestine,
Okay.
which is called Israel now.
Yes.
They were forced to take the Israeli citizenship.
Okay.
They have the Israeli passport.
Yeah.
They participate on the Israeli election, but they are treated as second-class citizens in Israel. So they are fighting the discrimination in Israel.
Okay.
This is 1.5 million Palestinians. You want to translate that?
Yeah, a little bit. Explain to some of my viewers. Some of them they can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Excellency.
The second category, 2.3 million Palestinians who are in Gaza,
Okay.
and 75% of them are refugees.
Okay.
They have been suffering of siege by the Israelis for the last 16 years.
Oh, 16 tahun dah kena kepung, saudara. Yes.
And they are not allowed to go in and out of Gaza free.
Okay.
They very basic humanitarian needs that they need to live as a human being must be
The freedom.
gone through Israel. Without Israel facilitating the humanitarian needs, they will never receive drinking water.
Ya, saudara, maksudnya sekarang ni bahawa Palestin memberi kerakyatan kepada pelarian-pelarian itu dan mereka, tapi masalah sekarang ini apa sahaja pergerakan mereka mesti mendapat kelulusan daripada kerajaan Zionis Israel. They control everything. Nak
For
dapat
Gaza.
air pun. Ya. Musuh
So-
musuh di Gaza, saudara. Ya.
So 1.5 million Palestinians in Israel, discrimination. 2.3 million Palestinians
Only
in Gaza,
1.5 million in Israel.
in Israel.
Okay.
2.3 millions in Gaza.
In Gaza,
3 millions in the West Bank and Al-Quds.
3 juta dekat West Bank. I see. Then we can understand now.
All right. Because there is no geographical link between Gaza and the West Bank.
Okay.
Israelis are in the middle.
What's the capital of West Bank?
The capital, 3 millions. 3 million Palestinians.
3 juta Palestin berada di West Bank. Kata ni apa di Datuk Jai dia panggil apa ni apa
Jordan.
di Jordan.
With the border with Jordan, yes.
Di sepadan Jordan.
But I did not finish yet. I have to
Please.
continue. So we have 1.5 million in Israel, 2.3 million in Gaza, 3 millions in the West Bank.
Yeah.
And we have 7 million Palestinians in diaspora. And they are struggling and fighting
Worldwide.
for the right of return. Of course, the 3 million Palestinians in the West Bank, they are fighting the Israeli settlers.
Okay.
They are fighting the Israeli occupation.
Okay.
They are fighting the Israeli checkpoints.
Okay.
They are attacked by the Israeli settlers who are protected by the Israeli police and the Israeli army.
Okay.
And the killing every day goes on from Jenin to Hebron to Ramallah to Nablus to Tulkarem, all the cities and villages in the West Bank attacked by the Israeli settlers and the Israeli army.
Secara retinya sekarang saudara, bukan hanya di Gaza, di Gaza itu refugee, tapi saya kalau mendengar daripada kenyataan daripada Tuan Yang Utama, through your explanation, Your Excellencies, that to me, correct me if I'm wrong, the Israel attack the Gaza, sedangkan di West Bank tu rakyat Palestin ada struggle of Palestinian. They still...
And they're striking Lebanon even while they're striking Gaza.
Lebanon. Dia bukan tidak struggle in Gaza, is it? But Gaza is all more on the refugee.
Lebanon hosts thousands of Palestinian refugees, and they are targeted by the Israeli army and the Israeli airplanes, and they assassinated Lebanon as much as they assassinated the Ramallah and the West Bank. They are targeting all. There is a say in Israel that they believe good Palestinian is dead Palestinian. That's what they believe. That's what they say. And international community witness on daily basis what the Israelis are doing, because international community only see through one eye. We are victims of double standards. When it comes to Israel, they keep silent. Palestinians have been victims of the double standards. We ask the international community to be fair with Palestine and Palestinians and just treat them equally to any other human beings around the globe.
Your Excellency, let's talk about foreign aid for the Gazans. Did all international aid reach the people?
No. Just, I'll share with you, day before yesterday, a delegation from Malaysia, parliamentarians, and the Deputy Foreign Minister, Muhammad Al-Amin, they went to Rafah.
Datuk Seri Muhammad Al-Amin, Timbalan Menteri Luar.
The Deputy Foreign Minister.
Yes.
They went to Rafah crossing with parliamentarians. And they went to see the crossing point with Gaza, which is Rafah crossing point. And they were, but in the Egyptian territories, not, inside Gaza, just to see how can we facilitate. The problem is, I, as an ambassador, together with Deputy Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Hamidi, together with Malaysian officials, the Foreign Minister, we launched 3 airplanes of humanitarian aids from Kuala Lumpur Airport to Al Arish Airport, which is basically humanitarian aids from Malaysians to Gaza. So the goods arrived in Al Arish Airport. From Al Arish Airport has to be transported by road.
How far is it?
It's about 40 kilometers to go directly to Gaza, but it can't go to Gaza directly without being inspected, security clearance by the Israeli authorities. So they have to check. And the Israelis purposely delay the procedure. Gaza, before the 7th of October, used to receive 500 containers daily. During the last 10 days, 50 containers only reached Gaza.
Dulu dapat 500 kontainer makanan. Sekarang ni 10 hari yang lepas cuma 50 kontainer untuk menyediakan makanan. For how many people? About 1.7
2.3
million. 23 juta rakyat nak makan dengan 50 kontainer. Saudara bayangkanlah. You just imagine, Your Excellency. This is real, it's inhuman.
This is what we are asking international community who is witnessing the suffering of Palestinians, children, women, pregnant. Hospitals have no medicine. I mean, the very basic needs for a child, milk, water, food, is not available in Gaza. So, and the international community, since the 7th of October up until today, been witnessing the daily suffering of these innocent Palestinians.
What is the casualty on the Palestine now?
So far, as of the last statistics of today, we almost reached 30,000 martyrs, shaheeds.
30,000 syahid. Ya.
30,000.
Over almost 70,000 injured.
70,000 cedera.
1.9 million Palestinians evacuated their residential units.
1.5 warga Palestin terpaksa meninggalkan rumah, tak ada tempat.
The lucky
tinggal.
ones who have received a tent
Ya, ya.
in a
Tinggal
very
dalam-
cold
Ya.
weather.
Aduh. Tinggal dalam kemah dalam suasana yang sejuk, saudara. Could you imagine?
They are eating the animals' food now in Gaza.
Astaghfirullahalazim. Untuk meneruskan kehidupan, makanan yang dimakan oleh binatang pun mereka makan, saudara. Ini penjelasan daripada Tuan Utama.
Everybody witness on social media, you can see.
Dunia melihat, bukan dunia tidak melihat. The world is seeing all this, the cruelty of Israel. Tapi nothing have done. Now, Your Excellency, I would like to ask you, what happened to the two-state suggestions by the Americans and the two-state to the Israel to the Palestinian?
I mean, we as Palestinians accepted the international
Yeah.
community intention of having the two-state solution.
Okay.
And we accepted to live in peace in 22% of historical Palestine.
Okay.
Why United States of America, European Union, Russia, and the United Nations could not implement the UN resolutions to put an end to this longest occupation and to let Palestinians exercise their freedom in an independent Palestinian state.
Ya, soal dia two-state country ni, saudara, bukan rakyat Palestin tak bersetuju. Tetapi soalnya, apa garanti, apa jaminan daripada kerajaan Amerika, kerajaan England, bahawa kedamaian dapat dicipta di bumi Palestin?
But I was made to understand, Your
Yeah.
Excellency, sorry. The Palestinians, under the two-state resolution, will be given a very small area.
22% of historical Palestine, which is the 1967 borders, which is according. We accepted that to live in, to put an end to our suffering, to our people's suffering, but they never implemented what we agreed on.
Saudara, di samping deraian air mata, apa sebab paksaan dunia yang dilakukan terhadap warga Palestin, mereka menerima cadangan. Tetapi, apa yang telah dilakukan? What have they done? Kedamaian tidak ada, keadilan tidak ada, malahan warga Palestin tidak langsung
And Israelis are killing the two-state solution by continue creating, expanding, constructing new settlements in the Palestinian territories.
Jadi artinya Israel sendiri yang membunuh dua state solution yang dicadangkan oleh Amerika. Tapi hairan, why America still supporting Israel?
You witnessed the last vote in the Security Council when Algeria had submitted a resolution. 13 countries out of 15 voted for Palestine. UK abstained, and America used the veto.
The veto.
Because Benjamin Netanyahu and his government and Israel believe that they are immune by the American veto. Whenever they are pushed to the corner, immediately Americans, on the favor of Israel, use the veto.
Suasana begitulah, saudara, keadaan di mana nak menyediakan tentera tak boleh sebab negaranya dijajah. Dalam waktu yang sama, tidak ada sokongan. Sokongan antarabangsa hanya sekadar bersuara. Only voice and voice. Nothing's happening.
It's all in theory. I mean, OIC countries met 57 Muslim countries.
Are you going to say the hypocrisy?
All in theory. Practical measures needed. Now you ask me as an ambassador, what is needed? Immediately, we need an immediate, unconditional ceasefire. Number one.
Ya. Permintaan mereka pertama sekali, tidak mau lagi. Mau gencatan senjata dilakukan. Ceasefire. Ya.
Second.
Ya.
To facilitate a humanitarian aid corridor. To give people something to eat.
Berikan makanan, bawa makanan. Yang itu yang tuntutan pada warga Palestin. Dia bukan minta lebih daripada itu. Pertama, menghormati gencatan senjata. Yang kedua, makanan, air, perubatan. untuk warga Palestin. Is that correct?
Number
Excellency?
three, number three.
Ya, Excellency.
To force the Israeli government to stop the settlers' terrorism against Palestinians on the West Bank.
Jadi janganlah kacau West Bank. Ini masalahnya, Israel masih lagi nak mengganggu di West Bank sebab di West Bank itu ada 3 juta warga Palestin.
Number four,
yeah.
which is the most important one, is to have a political framework to implement a comprehensive peace agreement to enable the two nations to live side by side, to live in peace.
Artinya bukan mereka tidak bersetuju untuk dua negara, negara Israel dan negara Palestin, tetapi perlu ada kerangka. Kerangka maksudnya saudara, satu perjanjian yang bukan main-main, bukan retorik, no retorika, no retorik.
The American administration
Yeah.
and Israel, European Union, European countries, international community know very well that Israelis had signed peace treaty with Egypt 50 years ago.
50 tahun dulu Israel dah menanda perjanjian dengan Mesir,
Anwar Sadat.
ya.
And Camp David,
Yeah.
Camp David,
Yeah.
they signed peace treaty
Oh,
with
di
Egypt.
Camp David, ya.
Did they achieve peace?
Adakah keamanan dijelmakan di situ? Ya, betul juga, ya, Excellency. Ya.
They had signed peace treaty with Jordan with late King Hussein.
Mereka juga bertanda perjanjian dengan King Hussein di Jordan. Pun tak ada. there
They
is no peace.
normalized diplomatic relations with UAE, with Bahrain, with some Arab and Muslim countries. Did they achieve peace?
No.
They know very well that the cornerstone of any stability in the Middle East is the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Without the Israelis recognizing the Palestinian rights, they will never enjoy peace and they will never live in peace.
Your Excellency,
Ya, ya.
in other words, you are saying
Can you
that
translate that, please?
Yeah.
I want all my brothers and sisters to
Ya,
understand.
please, because maksudnya sekarang ni mereka Israel telah menanda perjanjian dengan Jordan, menanda perjanjian dengan
Egypt.
menanda perjanjian dengan
UAE, Bahrain.
Arab, Bahrain, dan
They never achieve peace.
tapi mereka tidak menerima ataupun
Peace
mencapai
can be achieved
kedamaian.
only when they recognize the Palestinian rights.
Kedamaian hanya dapat tercapai apabila perjanjian di bumi Palestin.
Why Malaysia is having no diplomatic relation with Israel?
Oh yeah, they were long ago during our holiday.
Why?
Why?
Because Malaysians are convinced without Palestinians enjoying their rights
Yeah.
in an independent Palestinian state, Malaysia will never have diplomatic relation with
Ya,
Israel.
bahawa persoalan Tuan Yang Utama sebagai wakil diplomatik daripada negara Palestin, dia bersoal pada saya dan dia menjawab sendiri, kenapa Malaysia tidak mempunyai hubungan diplomatik dengan Israel? Kerana kita berkeyakinan, Malaysia berkeyakinan tanpa kedamaian yang ada di bumi Palestin, segala-galanya tidak boleh tercapai. Yes.
Many other Muslim countries are the same.
Begitu juga negara lain pun sama juga. Ya.
So Israelis and the Americans know very well that stability and a comprehensive peace they can enjoy only when they recognize the Palestinian rights.
Segala-galanya saudara hanyalah di bumi Palestin. Sebab itu saya katakan saudara, air mata di bumi Palestin itu besar maknanya. Dan di situ juga selalu saya bakitkan soal Masjid Al-Aqsa, ya Excellency.
Masjid Al-Aqsa,
Is-
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Yeah.
in al-Isra wal Mi'raj,
Ya, Isra Mi'raj. Ya.
he could easily ask Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam
From
to
Mecca.
climb to heaven from Mecca.
Exactly, yes.
Why? He instructed him, go to Al-Quds, to
Yeah.
first Qibla.
Ya, ya. Why?
It is the gate for heaven.
There must be some secret of
The gate for heaven is from Al-Quds.
Ya.
That's when he was the Imam of all prophets and messengers in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa
Yes,
before
yes,
climbing to heaven.
I heard the Imam of Masjid Al-Aqsa who has been questioned was charged to the court in recently
Many times.
many times.
Many times.
Imam besar Masjid Al-Aqsa berkali-kali dibawa ke mahkamah.
The former Imam of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is in a home arrest now.
Oh, ditahan di rumah. Astagfirullahalazim. Begitulah keadaan saya.
Sheikh Akram Sabri.
Hmm.
Sheikh Omar Shaswani,
yeah.
who was here in Malaysia, I invited him here and he
Yeah.
was hosted by my Aqsa.
Yeah.
And he visited Malaysia 2 occasions during my tenure. Many other Imams of
Now,
Al-Masjid
house
Al-Aqsa,
arrest.
they can't leave even. During the holy month of Ramadan,
Yeah.
this terrorist, the Israeli security minister, Ben
Yeah.
Ghafir,
All right, yes, what do you focus to happen during the month of
They are
Ramadan?
not allowing Palestinians to go and offer the prayer during the holy month of Ramadan.
Astaghfirullahaladzim.
They already now, they said Palestinians will not be facilitated to go and visit the Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Artinya jelas saudara apa yang saya katakan dalam bicara saya 3-4 malam dulu.
Only those Palestinians who live in Al-Quds can go to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa with
Yeah.
restrictions.
Hanya mereka yang tinggal di kalangan warga Al-Quds saja yang tinggal di persekitaran kawasan Masjid Al-Aqsa saya boleh masuk. Orang lain tak boleh. Palestin tak boleh masuk Masjid Al-Aqsa sepanjang bulan Ramadan. Ini ketetapan yang dibuat oleh Zionis Israel di Baitul Muqaddis.
And they talk about human rights and they talk about democracy. Where is that?
Mereka membicarakan soal human right, hak asasi kemanusiaan.
It is a crime against humanity.
Ya, it's a crime. Satu jenayah. Sebab
And
itu,
it's witnessed by
Yeah.
all international
Satu-
institutions.
satu dunia melihat. Tapi, I would like to ask you, Your Excellency. The whole world is seeing the cruelty, the crime created by the Zionist Israel, especially in Palestine. But why the whole world is not taking any actions? Just
Because-
talking.
Because Israel control two main things all around the world.
Too many?
They control two main things. They
Wow.
control media
Ya.
and money.
Benarnya memanglah selalu kita cakap bahawa Yahudi ini dia menguasai satu ialah media. Yang satu lagi dia menguasai wang.
You know
Wow,
the Jewish lobbies in America, Jewish lobbies in Europe, how influential,
Yeah.
how powerful they are.
Hmm.
At the moment, 95% of nations around the world in favor of Palestine. If you go through social media,
Ya.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you look all through social media.
Ya.
Demonstrations in London, in Washington even,
Ya, ya, ya.
in Paris, everywhere, in favor of Palestine. But the regime's under a lot of pressure from the Jewish lobbies because they control the money and they control the media. What they can't do through the media, they can do through the money.
What is your expectations toward the coming years?
Listen, we have a lot of patience, and Israelis knows that very well. What we can't achieve, our sons and our grandsons will achieve.
Ya.
Palestine is ours.
Ya.
Palestine is for Palestinians.
Ya.
And we will continue our struggle until the international community recognize our rights to live in peace, similar to any other nation around the globe.
Rasanya kalau mengikut daripada kenyataan Tuan Yang Utama, Duta Besar Palestin, Saudara Walid Abu Ali, tidak nampak sinar kedamaian akan berada di bumi Gaza dan juga di Palestin. Selagi ketenteraman itu, selagi warga dunia. Ini bukan masalah persoalan sekarang ini bukan antara Israel dan juga Palestin, tapi ini warga dunia, the whole world. The world's population must go. Jadi,
On here, I have to take this opportunity
ya,
to thank all Malaysians
okay.
for their ongoing support and solidarity with Palestinians.
Okey, selaku Tuan Utama, beliau menzahirkan keprihatinan warga Malaysia terhadap Palestin, untuk nasib Palestin itu amat dihargai oleh seluruh penduduk yang berada di Palestin, dan bukan hanya sekadar sokongan batu kewangan, sokongan politik, sokongan pemimpin Malaysia tanpa batas kaum
I
dan
have to
agama.
share
Ya,
another experience when the Israeli police and Israeli army
Mozart.
invaded the Masjid Al-Aqsa
Okey.
and destroyed a lot of Al-Masjid.
Ya, okey.
And they destroyed the main entrance of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Okey.
An initiative here in Malaysia by Dato Sri Zahid Hamidi,
Okey.
who had, on behalf of AMNO, contributed $200,000 to renovate the gate of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Pintu untuk masuk ke Masjid Aqsa yang telah pun diledakkan dengan ledakan bom oleh Israel hancur berkecai, tapi warga Palestin dapat melihat bagaimana murninya pimpinan Presiden UMNO Datuk Zahid Hamidi yang mengulurkan derma peribadi sejumlah $200,000 Amerika untuk memperbaiki gate ataupun pagar utama untuk masuk ke Masjid Aqsa.
This
Begitulah
money was sent directly to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa through the account of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Amman, Jordan.
Wang itu terus masuk terus kepada Presiden Masjid Al-Aqsa. Tak ada, bukan melalui di bank di Amman, ya, di Jordan, ya.
Ya.
So jadi warga Palestin ingin mengucapkan terima kasih yang teramat sangat. Saya tidak bercakap warga Palestin, warga Islam seluruhnya seharusnya berterima kasih pada Presiden UMNO yang menzahirkan secara peribadi $200,000 Amerika untuk membina semula pintu pagar yang dihancurkan oleh Israel.
So many Malaysians on the governmental level and the NGO level, they never hesitate to show their support and solidarity to Palestine.
Ramai sangatlah pemimpin UMNO, pemimpin dari Malaysia sentiasa mengulur bantuan kepada warga Palestin. No, we are not
Between the embassy and Wisma Putra, there is a central bank account in Wisma Putra for those Malaysians who wants to contribute for transparency. All the contribution goes through this bank account. I know since 7th of October, again, Malaysia created Ops Ehsan, which take care of all humanitarian aids to go to Palestine. But beside that, let me share with you an NGO as well in Malaysia, My Aqsa. Since 2017, a group of Malaysian lawyers, they had sponsored a case against Israel at The Hague, before South Africa even. And they were with the Foreign Minister, Dato Sri Mohammed Hassan, last week in The Hague, and they contributed, and the message of Malaysia was shared with the 53 countries in The Hague.
Secara mengikut terutama kalau warga kita nak menghantar derma dan sebagainya, sebab kedutaan Palestin dan Wisma Putra di Kementerian Luar ada membuka akaun. Jadi kalau nak hantar bantuan atas keprihatinan warga Malaysia terhadap apa yang dialami oleh sahabat saudara kita di Palestin, masukkanlah akaun anda melalui Wisma Putra punya akaun yang dibuka antara kedutaan dan juga Wisma Putra, ya Excellency.
Exactly.
So tak ada orang lain. Jadi saya apa yang berlaku, saya tak mau sebutlah saudara apa yang berlaku yang sekarang ni.
All in all, Malaysians, thank you very much for what you are doing.
Terima kasih Malaysia atas apa yang anda lakukan.
I'm so proud of being an ambassador in Malaysia.
Saya teramat bahagia, teramat bangga untuk menjadi warga
And I witness
Palestin,
how much
warga
support we get
Palestin.
from Malaysia.
Dan terlalu banyak jasa.
I am sure the day will come when we all will pray in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa when Palestine is free, when Palestine is an independent state.
Doa kita bersama saya agar kita dapat berkesempatan untuk solat di Masjid Al-Aqsa. Yes, Excellency, I know the time is passing fast, so might be time by time I will call your Excellency.
Anytime, I'll be more than happy.
Secara bersama-samalah kita mendoakan sementara bulan Ramadan yang datang ini agar Masjid Al-Aqsa itu bebas daripada cengkaman rejim Zionis.
We have in Malaysia about 4,000 Palestinians community in Malaysia.
Ada 4,000 saudara warga Palestin yang ada di Malaysia sekarang ni.
They are your guests here in Malaysia.
Mereka bekerja, yes.
Look after them, help them as much as you can, because majority of them are, or 1/3 of them are students. About 1,200 of them are refugees who came from Iraq and Syria, and they are temporarily here in Malaysia because Malaysia is not a host country for refugees. Through the embassy, we coordinate with so many NGOs to help them as much as we can. There was an initiative from the government of Malaysia to give scholarships for all Palestinian students in the universities in Malaysia.
Ya, saya selaku Tuan Utama Duta Besar Palestin ke Malaysia, beliau mengharapkan agar warga Malaysia ini tolonglah bantu, jagalah warga Palestin ada sini sebab mereka datang ke sini sebagai pelajar. Janganlah anggap mereka sebagai orang luar. Jangan rasakan, anggaplah ini sebagai saudara. Ya, Excellency.
I wish all Malaysians and all Muslims a very happy Ramadan.
InsyaAllah.
And Ramadan Mubarak, insyaAllah.
Selamat berpuasa daripada Tuan Utama, daripada warga Palestin untuk semua. Dan Your Excellency, thanks your time for
Thank you very much,
Malaysia.
sir. Thank you.
Datuk Jai, terima kasih.
Thank you for coming.
Urusan ini semua dilakukan oleh Datuk Jai Lani.
Barakallahu fikum. Syukran jazilan.
Sebab itu biar penting bagi saya. So, saudara, jangan lupa malam lusa kita akan berbicara dengan Yang Mulia Tengku Razali Hamzah untuk bercerita tentang kedudukan politik semasa. Ya Excellency, all the best to you. We pray for the tears in Gaza.
Free Palestine.
Pray for Palestine. InsyaAllah. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Selamat malam.
Ops Ihsan adalah sebuah inisiatif oleh kerajaan Malaysia di mana pihak kerajaan telah menghimpunkan NGO-NGO kemanusiaan dari dalam negara untuk bersama-sama menyalurkan bantuan kepada warga Gaza di Palestin. Salah satu bantuan utama adalah pemberian kotak makanan untuk kelangsungan hidup mereka di sana. Setiap kotak makanan diisi dengan makanan asas seperti tepung, kekacang, minyak zaitun dan bermacam lagi.
Yang paling utama sekali adalah bantuan yang diberi dan kerjasama oleh kerajaan Mesir, terutama adalah kelulusan. Itu poin penting. Kelulusan ini perkara yang paling mustahil sekali. Tanpa kelulusan daripada pihak pemerintah kerajaan Mesir, kita tidak boleh lakukan apa-apa. Yang pasti objektif kita supaya bantuan kita ini sampai ke destinasinya dengan cara yang betul.
Pasukan Ops Ihsan telah bertungkus lumus membina operasi penyediaan kotak makanan di Kahirah, Mesir sebelum dihantar melalui sempadan refuge